Despite Congress approving more than $500 billion to help small business during the pandemic, many business owners still feel shut out of receiving federal aid. My next guest has a plan to get more money into the hands of the smallest and most vulnerable businesses. Joining me now, Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, a member of the Bald is Beautiful Club. Great to see you again,
you got that
Congresswoman.
right.
Thank you for being with us. Talk to me about who you're talking about, because there are a lot of Americans who are not small business people who see $500 billion having gone out and says, who could possibly not be getting this money? You know who's not getting this money.
Absolutely. We could have predicted this. These inequities and these racial disparities when it comes to access to capital for our true micro businesses, those that are simply too small to fail, most of which are minority owned, our restaurants, our beauty salons, our barbershops, our bodegas, have not benefited from the PPP program. And so what I'm focused on in this moment is, one, urgency. How do we address the scale, impact, and then equity? Treasury did not even provide in the previous iterations of relief bills guidance to enforce fair lending laws. So the inequities and disparities that have always persisted have been further spotlighted and worsened in this moment, and that's why myself and Senator Harris have introduced the Saving Our Street bill.
It also has elements for working Americans, but the idea being that we've treated this as an emergency, which we probably should have, and Congress has, and Congress did one of the few bipartisan things it's done in a long time in getting this money out there. But there's going to be this period between the end of the emergency and the beginning of the new normal, and that could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be longer, when individuals and businesses are suffering. How do we build that bridge to the future?
Yeah, that's exactly why in our legislation, Saving Our Streets, what we've done is establish a micro business assistance fund of $124.5 billion to provide $255,000 grants. That's the cap. And the reason why we're focused on grants and not loans is that they don't have to be paid back. And so that will allow small business owners to not only address their immediate needs while the crisis is most acute, but ensure that they can recover it, because those funds can be allocated towards payroll, maintaining health benefits, towards mortgage, towards utilities. And if you were already an essential business, then those funds can be used for PPE and hazard pay.
And you are talking about an initial limit of companies that have 9 employees, more than that if it's in a uniquely low-income neighborhood. So you're really talking about small businesses.
Absolutely. And although we did see some incremental gains in the last relief bill when the Democrats fought to have CDFIs and MDIs included, we're still not meeting the scale. And we're not hitting those businesses that are really too small to fail, those micro businesses. We also, in our legislation, require that 75% of the funding go to those businesses that have historically been underrepresented, which are overwhelmingly minority-owned businesses. And then finally, Ali, you know, policy is my love language, so we're trying to deliver some love to our neighborhoods and save our streets. But I also love data, but I don't love data for the sake of collecting data. It's about ensuring that there's an equitable distribution of these funds. And so our legislation also requires a report detailing the ethnicity, the race, the industry, the geography, the demographics, and gender of applicants of grants. We've been pushing Treasury on this for a while, and your reporting has been incredible. But remember, the reason why we know what happened so far is because of publicly reporting companies like Ruth Chris, like Shake Shacks, like Potbelly, but we don't really know where these funds are going. And so our Saving Our Street legislation aims to address that.
Policy is my love language, too, so that's 2 things we have in common. Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, thank you for the work you are doing. Thank you for always joining us, and thank you for the proposal that you are putting forward to help America's real small businesses get some help. Coming up next.